Guys, welcome back to World Illuminator 11, and today we are going to be answering a question. And this is a question that was left on one of the shorts that I did. It was probably about 2 weeks ago, so I remember seeing it, and I'm sure I responded at the time. But I also got this message that, to actually do this as a video, and life is busy, there's so much going on, but the message has continuously been coming, and hopefully the person who left the question, because I can't remember who he was or what short it was, gets to see this video. And it is for anyone else who may need, who may be wanting to find answers to this question. And for some, you may feel like, oh, I've been there, I've done that, I am in a better place now. And but we're all in different parts of the journey. Or you may just be, just really sort of hearing the messages to see as well some of the things that you are learning as well from this journey that you're growing as you grow and keep moving forward. So the question that was asked was, why does it hurt so much? So this is a question from a divine feminine about why it hurts so much on this journey, especially when your divine masculine walks away. During this time of separation, when you're not with your divine masculine in the physical, why does it hurt so much? And, and this is from the point that they actually walk away. So that's what I'm going to be sort of dissecting to see why it hurts so much for you, the divine feminine, and also to start off by saying it hurts so much as well for the divine masculine. They go through pain as well on this journey. They may not show it, and they may go off and distract themselves with all sorts of things, whether it's working, going out, drinking, whatever it is. They sort of put everything into that, more on their 3D world, to try and distract themselves. But they also have that pain. They may not show it to you, they may not show it to other people, but behind closed doors, they do feel that pain as well, or they may even show it to other people, but not to you, but they are also feeling the pain. So, why does it hurt so much? So and I am speaking from experience. I am on this journey, and I went through the pain, and I know how it feels. So if you are going through the pain right now, I feel that, because I know how it feels, and I'm sending you so much love. And all I can tell you is that as you keep moving forward on this journey, as you keep working on yourself and focusing on you and healing yourself, you will get stronger. The pain will start to sort of fall away, and you start to stand more in your power. So it actually is there to help you grow. That pain that you go through, that hurt that you go through, it actually grows you. So coming back to the question, why does it hurt so much? So when your divine masculine walks away, you feel like there is this part of you that has been ripped away from you, like your heart has been ripped in two. You just feel this inner pain that you feel in, and that's because you are that one soul. You are that one soul, and you really feel it deep. When they sort of sort of walk away from you, you feel that pain. So that's the first thing. You feel like there's a part of you that has been ripped away from you, and that is painful. And also, I've written a few things down so that I don't miss anything. So I'll keep referring to this. So you feel, and you feel it deeply. You feel that pain deeply, because it is literally like you've been ripped apart. And then, you just want them to hold you. You just want them to be the one who holds you. But at the time when you're going through this, but obviously, they're not there to hold you, because they're the one who's walked away. So you kind of left in this place where you are in so much pain, and you feel like nobody else really understands what you're going through. Your family, your friends, and the person that you would like to talk to the most, to hold you, is the one who sort of walked away. So you can feel alone as well. And at the time, you can feel alone, and that feeling of being alone can be painful, because you feel like there's no one for you to turn to speak to. But then that is actually only because we have this sort of thing that we've had for a long time to do with separation consciousness, or feeling that you are alone. Whereas even during that time that you're going through, the most pain when it comes to your journey, after your divine masculine walks away, you are not alone. It may feel like it, but you're not alone. Your angels are there with you. The Creator is there with you. They're there sort of, it's just, you don't know to turn to them at the time. But they are always there with you. So you're never alone is the message that I'm just giving you. That as you're going through this pain, you are never alone. And they are there to help you, to comfort you, and, to sort of walk with you through that time that you'll be going through this pain. So, you feel like a part of you has been ripped apart. And, and that is the point where, you actually start to ask yourself, what does this all mean? What is the meaning of life? Why is all this going on? If you've never asked yourself that question before, but when you are going through that pain as a divine feminine, when your divine masculine walks away, that's when you start to ask yourself all those questions. To really sort of try and understand what it all means, why someone comes into your life and then they go away. And you see, the thing is, it's also important to understand at this point, before I go any further, that your twin flame, your divine masculine, your true twin flame, does not intentionally want to hurt you. They may walk away, but it doesn't mean that they are intentionally wanting to hurt you. And that is because they are your twin flame. And it's also important to remember that this journey is a journey that is, God is in charge of this journey. So, the things that happen, including that separation, is something that is actually part of the journey that is orchestrated by the divine. And you may feel like, oh, my twin has walked away, and you say they did this to me, but they are also in a way kind of doing this because it's part of what they are here to do. It's part of what has to happen on your journey. And as I said, it's not like they are having, are not feeling the pain as well. They feel the pain because, during the bubble love phase, which is when you first get together. And I do know that, not everyone's journey is different. Others haven't met their twin, or, they live in different countries, or they've met only online, but there is always that sort of time that you have that connection in a way. And others may never have met them at all, but there is something that that there is, you've had that sort of connection with them. And that's what I'm talking about here. And for most, you have met them in person, and you have that sort of bubble love phase, or love phase, and and you in during that time, the two of you are really into it. Your divine masculine is really into it, and you can see that, and it's the most beautiful, amazing connection that you've ever experienced, and it's incredibly beautiful. And you can tell that they are really into you and into the connection as well, and they are putting in the effort the same way you're putting in the effort, and it's beautiful. And then they suddenly walk away, and it's like whoosh, they're gone. And and you're suddenly left in this place where you are like, it's like your dreams, you started having dreams about this beautiful life, and starting to see how amazing it can be to be with someone in such a beautiful connection, and suddenly it's taken away. It's like this carpet sort of ripped from under your feet, and your dreams, of the things that you were dreaming about, the life that you were going to have, all these things suddenly get shattered. So that hurts, because you start to think, what does it all mean? Why, all these questions. And that hurts, because you get into a place of not knowing what to do, and what, where to go, because you've started building up all these dreams. So it hurts as well when it comes to that. But also, it is about realizing that it's not their intention to just hurt you. You know, as I said, God is in charge, and separation, physical separation, is part or is a stage of the journey. And, you know, they do what they do, and in their mind, you know, in their conscious mind, they are doing it for a reason, whether it's because they feel that you'll be better off without them, or they'll be better off without you, or it's not working, or, you know, maybe you've had an argument, whatever it is that has happened, or it's because of their own fear, but there is a conscious sort of reason why they're doing what they are doing. But there is actually a bigger picture when it comes to the separation. You know, they'll have their own conscious reason for doing it, but conscious fear, or, you know, or it may not even be a fear that they're aware of. They just think it's just not going to work. And for them, that is their reason. But there is actually something bigger that is going on, because the divine orchestrates that separation so that, you know, they can go and heal and you can heal. You know, so there is something bigger that is going on, and, you know, they have their reason for walking away, but it is not that their intention is to hurt you. You know, within themselves, they may actually feel like this is the best thing to do in this situation for myself, for you, for, you know, it's not working, so it's best to just walk away. So that's what they are thinking consciously. But what is going on is there is something bigger that is happening, so that they can walk away, and, you know, and you go through the stage of separation that you have to go through, because it is part of the journey. So, you know, the message that I'm really just trying to give is that they're not, if they are your true twin flame, they're not intentionally trying to hurt you. You know, they are actually in their mind doing it for a reason, and it also hurts them when they walk away. So, you know, so if you're in a place where you're thinking, oh, they just intentionally did this, you know, you have to understand that it is being divinely orchestrated, because it is part of the journey and it has to happen. You know, they'll have a reason for doing it, but it is actually something bigger that is going on. And, you know, for them, they, you know, on the 3D level, there had to be some sort of reason for them to walk away. But this, on the soul level, this is what is happening, divinely orchestrated to help to bring in that stage of separation that has to happen. So that's the only reason why I'm saying that, you know, it's not their intention to do this, and they hurt as well because of this, because they were into this love. You know, they felt it deeply as well, as much as you did in the bubble love phase. As long as they're a true twin flame, they would have felt it deeply as well, and, you know, they wanted this too. But then the time comes where, after the triggers start coming in for both of you, you know, you start to mirror each other's you know, wounding and all these things. So the time comes, as part of the stage of the journey, for them to have to go and heal, for you to have to start your healing. You have to start first. So, you know, it has to happen. So, you know, so it's divinely orchestrated so that that happens. So it's not, and then they have a reason for walking away, but that has to happen because you are living in this 3D world. So there has to be something that happens on the 3D level, you know, and the physical level for them to leave. Whether it's just their fear, whether it is whatever it is, you know, that happens. So, but it's actually part of the journey. So it's not like it's their intention to hurt you. That's the point that I'm trying to make here. So, you know, and what can also hurt is that in this situation, you want to talk to them. You are trying, you know, you're so used to trying to make things happen, to control things, and you just want to speak to them and, you know, and work through it and make them understand and apologize or whatever it is that you're wanting to do, and they're just not there. You know, and that can hurt so much because you're trying so hard. You're putting as much effort into contacting them, and, you know, and they don't respond. And that can hurt because you're thinking, how can you just not respond when I just want to have a conversation? So all those things hurt, but it's something that you're trying to push to happen, you know, and you're trying to control things. You're trying to make things happen your way. And when you realize that you are completely helpless in the situation, you can't make it happen, then that hurts because you feel helpless. You can't do anything. So, and in all this, it hurts so much because you are learning lessons. There are lessons that you're learning. There's the lesson of letting go and not trying to control things or hold on so tightly. So you are learning, to really sort of, you get put in a situation where you can't do anything, for you to release that need to control. So you are learning that as well during that time, to release that need to control, to make things happen. You are learning to understand that, you can't make someone do anything. Whereas you may have tried to push for them to contact you, to speak to you, you can't make any other person do anything, and you have no control over another person. What you have control over is you and your responses or your reactions, what is going on with you. So you are learning to master yourself as well during this time, to master the way that you are with other people, and to master your own emotions. So you're learning a lot of things as well. So it hurts so much because it's part of your journey of healing, it's part of your learning, and it's part of your growth. Okay, and then so the next point that I have here is, it also hurts because, you may get to a point on the journey, because usually at the time where they walk away, you may not even be aware of the fact that you're on a twin flame journey, or you may be, but you may not be aware, and then you suddenly get this understanding, or these messages start coming in that you are on this journey, and you start looking it all up and you understand it, and you just want to tell them, you just want to say to them, look, this is the situation, but you can't, and they're not consciously aware of this connection yet. And because they're sort of stuck in their 3D world, or the things that they're doing, their distractions at the time, and you are starting to awaken, and you're more consciously aware of the spiritual connection, but they're not. So it can hurt as well, in that sense that you just wish that you could make them understand, but you're not meant to. They're meant to get it in their own time, in their own way. So it's also that lesson of letting go. So it can hurt in that sense as well. And then it can also hurt, it also hurts so much due to our emotional wounding. There is so much pain that is there within us. And all this comes up when your twin flame walks away, because your twin is there as the other half of your soul to help you to see and heal the things that are going on within you. So, there's all that emotional pain that comes up, and this can be, things to do with abandonment, fear of abandonment. It can be abandonment that happened in your childhood, things that you haven't dealt with, maybe with your parents, who walked away, or they may have, left, or whatever it is, or they went there, or they were drinking, and you didn't have that connection. So there's whatever the situation was, it brings up all those wounds. So when they walk away, they sort of bring up that fear of abandonment, and you have to work through that, and it brings up also attachment. That's another one, and that's a big one, and that's that attachment that you have to work through. That attachment to your divine masculine, an unhealthy attachment, and this is the attachment that society or life, or even seeing things from your parents, other people, has taught you that this is love. Whereas this is actually an unhealthy attachment. That unhealthy attachment of, I need them. I can't live without them. My life is going to end without them. I want them. They have to show me that they care. They have to talk to me. They have to respond to my message. It's like that desperation and that sort of attachment to that need and wanting, and that we have learned in a distorted way to see as love, but it's actually an unhealthy attachment. So it really sort of hurts so much because you have that unhealthy attachment to that being together, or that needing them, or that wanting them so much that you can't live without them. And you have to work through that. You have to get into a place of realizing and learning what love truly is. Not that distorted love that is seen as love, but is actually that unhealthy attachment. So, there is that sort of coming into the place of it hurts so much because you have that unhealthy attachment. Whereas if you were not holding on to that unhealthy attachment of I need them, I can't live without them, and all this, you wouldn't feel that pain and suffering that you feel, because what happens is there is a part of you that feels like you are incomplete and you are not whole as you are. So you need them to sort of make you feel whole and complete, and that is that attachment of wanting something outside of you to make you feel that you are whole, whereas you are already whole within. And you have to work on yourself, to release all those parts of yourself that you need to work through, so that you know that you are whole, you are complete already as you are. And you release that unhealthy attachment and get into a place of unconditional love. So it hurts because of that unhealthy attachment, where you have this sort of attachment to that that wanting, that needing them, and that romantic wanting, that needing, that wanting to be with them, but in an unhealthy way. And you have to release that and get into that place of having unconditional love. So it hurts so much because of that. And as you start to work on yourself, to know as well that you're enough as you are, you're complete, you're whole, and to heal that unhealthy attachment, and you start to get into a place of that unconditional love, where you just love them. You're not needing them. You're not in a place of, they have to show me that they love me by, speaking to me or whatever it is, even though that would be great. I'm not saying that is not. That would be amazing if they did, they picked up the phone to message you, to call you, whatever. That would be an amazing thing. It's part of what you do when you do, it's a great thing to have. But it's been such an unhealthy attachment for so long that you have to really work through all that, to release that and get into that place of knowing that, you love them anyway, even without them picking that phone to call you, without you needing them, but you have that love for them, without you putting conditions on them contacting you, or them, showing you that they love you in this way. You just get into that place of that love. So you are also learning what true love is, what unconditional love is, whereby it's not the love of need and wanting and demanding. So the message also coming through here is that, it hurts so much to free you. It hurts so much to free you from that unhealthy attachment, to free you from the fear of abandonment or other fears that you may have, the fear of not seeing them ever again, the fear of, your dreams of the two of you being together never gonna happen. It frees you from all those things. And the only way it does free you is by you doing your work, by you doing your healing, by you doing your inner work. Then you become free. But it's because of that pain. If you hadn't gone through that pain with your divine masculine, who's the other half of your soul, so that when they walk away, it really sort of rips you, it feels like you've been ripped apart, to the point that you start to look to change within yourself, to heal yourself, then you'd be stuck in that prison of fear and abandonment, and and it also helps you to free yourself from other sort of sort of things that you may have to do with your shadow side, such as jealousy. Maybe you've been jealous all your life because of something that happened in a past relationship, or when you were a child, whatever it was, and you start to dive into all those as you do your inner work. So you start to heal that, and it is freeing you from all those things that you've been holding on to. These can be things from childhood, these can be things from past relationships, past hurts, trauma, things from past lives. These are all things that your soul has got with it that you have to work through and heal to be able to move forward. It's part of your ascension to release all those things that have been holding you back from being that divine being of love that you truly are, because you've had all these things that are to do with fear that are covering all the love, and you're sort of working through and peeling off all those layers to get to just being that love that you are. And that's part of what you are being freed from. So it hurts so much to free you so that you can be able to move forward and grow into the greatest version of yourself. And then we also have here, so it helps you to heal wounds from childhood, from your past lives. And and it hurts because you may be wanting things to be a certain way, but things are not going to be the way that you want them to be. Things are going to be the way that they're meant to be. And you have to get into a place of coming out of the mind, because what also hurts is the mind. You suffer in the mind and thinking and all these things should be like this. I should be here, I should be all this, but you're exactly where you're meant to be. But because you're in the mind too much, it hurts so much. You suffer because of the mind, and you have to free yourself from being in the mind too much and come into your heart where you feel the love, where you're just operating from love. And and when you are more in the heart, because we are all learning to get out of being in the mind too much and move into the heart. And you are also on this journey, you're coming from the mind and into soul. So you are moving more into the soul, which is what this journey is all about. It's about you as a soul moving into that, shining as the light of your soul. And you are moving more out of the mind and more into soul. And that is you growing into the greatest version of yourself. So it's freeing you from all those things. It hurts so much to free you from all those things that have held you back so that you can grow into the greatest version of yourself. And, so it hurts because we need to heal, you need to do your inner work. And as you start to tackle all those things, your jealousy, your whatever fears that you've had of abandonment, the attachments that you've had, to someone, love coming outside of you, and you start to love yourself, because you have to get to that place of loving yourself rather than wanting the love to come from outside. You have to start by loving yourself, filling up your own cup. So it frees you and brings you back to yourself. It helps you to grow within yourself as you love yourself and fill up your own cup. And as you're doing that, you are growing on your own path. And as you do that, you start to feel that, the pain is also going away. Because as you're healing, as you're doing your inner work, you're releasing the fear, the attachments, being in the mind too much. That's all that the ego is. It's being in the mind and the stories, and you're releasing all those things. You find that the suffering and the pain, it starts to go away. The hurting so much starts to go away. You still miss your twin because you're not seeing them or speaking to them, hearing their voice, spending time with them in the physical. You still miss them, but you're not in the hurt and the pain that you were before. And it takes time to grow and move forward on this, to free yourself from these things. So be patient, loving, and compassionate towards yourself. And, but you are moving forward. And as you're doing that, you're finding your own happiness. You're knowing that you're complete, you're whole, and you deserve all the best things in life. You're loving yourself. You are finding your own happiness from within. You are finding your own joy. You're loving your life, and you are doing your mission. You're growing into the greatest version of yourself. So it hurts so much to free you. It hurts so much to help you to grow into the greatest version of yourself. So it is actually a journey that is there to help you go through being broken into pieces so that you can build yourself up into who you're truly meant to be. So that's why it hurts so much. But know that as it's hurting, you are going to keep moving forward, and you're going to release all that, and you're going to get to a part where you are loving yourself and loving life, and you are growing so much from, you've grown so much from that pain, and it's helping you to really then be able to move forward towards the life that you're truly here to live, that life with your divine masculine, because they will come back at the right time so that you can have that sort of beautiful love that you may have experienced at the beginning as that bubble love phase. That's going to come back even better and even more beautiful. So it's preparing you. All that hurting so much is preparing you for the beautiful life that is there, awaiting you. But you have to heal and grow from all that pain first to be able to get there. So those are the messages that are coming through. I'm sending you so much love, and know that you've got this. You can do this, and just keep moving forward, focusing on yourself, loving yourself. Love, peace, positivity, and life.